Alright, it's the first boss fight finally, and she's kind of a pushover. I mean, not usually, but in this time. Well, probably usually. I'm trying to think back to the first time I fought this chick, and like, I'm sure this fight fucked me up a couple times, because it's tricky. These thieves are kind of assholes. They're fast. If you have any female characters, they'll try to charm them, which is annoying. I think the first time I played, or at least one of the first times, or at least many times, I guess, when I've played this, I've come through with like a female wizard because female characters make better magic units. And, you know, I've gotten them charmed and then they've bombed my party. And that's upsetting. You also got these two priests that usually can heal. Usually one of them will have black magic, if not both. And, yeah, it could be kind of a pain, but, oh, and the boss Maluda herself is kind of a bitch. She's pretty tanky, usually has good, skills and shit. But none of that matters, because I'm gonna take a big poop on all these people. So, yeah. I don't want to spoil anything necessarily, but somebody might be leaving our group after this fight, so I hope you weren't too attached to everybody. Because maybe your favorite character is gonna be voted off the show, so to speak. Or some shit. I don't know. Anyways, Bill Hicks here, tried to steal my hat, fucking asshole. Which, hats in general have been a sore topic as of late for me, but that's a whole nother endeavor, or whatever. Pretty much this is fairly cut and dry. I think I just kind of played through this one. I did the, oh, look at that. I did the reverse of what I was talking about earlier. I stole her heart, and I don't know how that'll pan out, but it's always nice to do so, because worst case scenario, generally, the enemy team will do damage to the charmed unit, and that stops the charm, but at the same time, even if that's what happens... oh, I'm checking Zodiac compatibility here to see if any of these people have good compatibility with my mediator to be invited. Which, if I didn't explain that, there's this whole thing with Zodiac compatibility. I know I got off topic from the Thieve thing, I'll get back to that, but there's Zodiac compatibility. Certain signs are good, bad, or whatever with each other, and then there's a best and worst depending on genders. And it's the same one, but like, let's say you have a male Taurus or whatever, if it's a female, what is it, Virgo? Some shit like that? Is it Virgo? Is it Capricorn? Sagittarius? It's one of those. It's one of them, I can't remember. If you have a female version of it, it'll be the best, but if it's a male, it's the worst, and vice versa. If you have a female, like Taurus, and then you have the same thing, a male, whatever the fuck, it's the best, and if it's another female, it's the worst. I did a pretty poor job of explaining that, but that's what I was doing there. But what I was going to say is, with the Thief, and stealing heart with the charming, worst case scenario, the enemy team will waste its turn damaging the unit, so, effectively, it wastes 2 units' turns, or at least 1, and it does damage to the unit too, so that's nice. And then, you know, best case scenario, you do some horse shit and you know, charm a mage or something, and then you just bomb the ass out of somebody, or she bombs the ass out of somebody, and you get some free damage. Like, hopefully what's gonna happen here? Let's see what she does. Yeah, it works. Bombing the shit out of that guy. I have Peen Balls as a time mage. I'm moving them up in the world, and you'll see why later. If you know what's coming up, then yeah, you already know. I just broke her shield. Broke the boss's shield. That's good. I'm gonna cripple her like a runt pig or something. I guess you don't I don't know what I mean by that. You don't cripple pigs. Runts aren't crippled either. I don't know what I'm talking about. Jesus. What was I saying? Time Mage. He's a Time Mage because I'm trying to get some shit. And I want to say, I can't remember, did I leave him as a Time Mage for a long time, or did I move him right to the next class? Yeah. It's escaping me at the moment because this was recently, or actually it was not recently, it was the opposite. It was a long time ago that I recorded these, and I'm just now commentating on them, which is probably a real sloppy way to do this, and I'm sorry. But that's how it's gotta be. I don't want to restart. I haven't played any further either. I'm just trying to catch up, you know? I'm trying to make these more current. I think I'm up to like the second chapter-ish, which we're not that far from, but we're still a couple videos out from. So things will get a little more like current, and I'll remember what the fuck's going on eventually. But yeah, one thing that's going on with her, I got a new skill for her called Praise. And what that does is what I was talking about in the last video. It raises your Brave by 4 points. And how that works is for this fight, your Brave will be up 4 points higher every time you successfully do that. But another side effect of that is every 4 points your Brave or Faith goes up or down, it permanently goes up 1. So at the end of the fight, if I raise her Brave 4 points, at the end it'll be 1 point higher permanently. And that's real good. That's going to be real helpful. I'm going to be abusing the shit out of that for a while. So, and there's other abilities that affect Brave and things like, or Faith, I mean, and there's one that lowers them too. Oh my god, is that like going to be a theme? There's a theme. It's pretty much, I kind of just dissected all these people. I might be slightly over-leveled, it's hard to say. No, see right there, my Brave went up by 4. I can't remember what her starting Brave was, but apparently I felt inclined to boost it up a bit. You can go up to 90 something, but I feel like around 70 feels fine to me. I don't need to min-max the shit out of it, it's not a huge issue. But you can get that up to 90 something. I want to say Faith goes up to 90 or 80 something. They all go up to 99 or whatever, but the problem is with any unit that's not the main character Peenballs, if their Brave gets too low, they become giant pussies and they fuck off, and if their Faith gets too high, they want to suck off God and they leave your party for that, which is weird. And the other annoying thing is when you get close to those numbers, at the end of every fight, the character will give you stupid message like, oh, I feel real religious, or like whatever they say. And that's obnoxious. So I'm going to lower Clyde Cash's Brave to like 15 to 20-ish, but like if I'm getting those messages, I'll probably just boost it like 1 point until it stops doing it because it's annoying. I mean, it's really not a valid reason. It's like purely laziness, just hitting X one more time to skip to the thing, but like, you know, that's too much, man. And so here I'm kind of just really just mopping up the floor. This gentleman's dead, this other thief's kind of on the ropes. She's still up, but not for long, unfortunately, I guess. She also has a unique picture. I don't know if you saw that, but that's kind of neat. She just looks like a normal female knight, but her drawing, or her portrait, I guess, is unique, which is kind of cool. It's too bad you couldn't recruit her somehow. But I don't know how that would work with the story, seeing what happens later. Not to spoil anything, but... So really, not a ton to say. I'm just kind of cleaning house here. Not the prettiest job, but, you know, it works. That thing sucks, I find. I mean, I've never really fucked with it too much. I think it... does it heal when you hit with it? I think, something like that. It probably has some application, but, like, I've just never felt like that would be necessary, especially since the staff below it does pretty decent damage if you have high magic. It's based on your magic, so if you have a caster and you have that thing early on, you know, you have high-ish magic, it hits okay. Like, not as much as, like, a sword or something, but, you know, it gets the job done. I don't know why I waited there so long. Yeah. What's going on here? I guess really right now all I'm doing is just sort of running down the clock trying to get crystals. The same old spiel. I promise this won't continue forever. At some point, these guys are going to be sort of where I want them, and like none of this shit will be important necessarily. I won't be doing this, but like for the early game, it's very nice to get things free if possible. So I'm gonna try. It helps later. I mean, any free shit you could get is less time you have to be a class to not A period be a class. Or B, you know, if you're saving up for something, sometimes it's nice to get a free thing to, like, supplement the class you're being. Like, check it out. Look at that shit. I kind of blew through that, but I got Cure Fire High Potion, which is actually really good. That's the second level potion from the Chemist tree, which is item. And it heals for 70 instead of 30, so that's a good get. Cure and Fire, or here or there, I don't really give a shit. An equip change, I'll probably never use. That's exactly what it sounds like. It takes up your support slot, and there's way more shit that is beneficial you could put there than equip change. It's not like... I've never made a character necessarily where mid-fight, it's, you know, I'm like, wow, you know what? I think I want to change my weapon. Because most classes really don't have, like, too many options, and if they... Like, generally, like, let's say you have a knight or something, like, he uses swords. So you're not going to switch down to the shittier sword. You're going to use your highest one, right? I don't know. I mean, there's a few, I guess, if for whatever reason you wanted to switch between, like, knives and guns on, like, a mediator, or there's a unique character later that can equip swords and knight sword, or swords, knight swords, and spears. So if you wanted to use that for whatever reason to jump or something, like, I guess that would be maybe an option, but, like, personally, I've never seen any use. So, this bitch is kind of winding down here. I just want these 2 Thief Crystals for Clyde Cash, and, really, it gets me in, not a pickle, but, like, fuck, it takes forever. So I'm gonna go down here, I'm gonna start breaking her. Oh, no, wait, I'm gonna try to kill this guy. I can't do the job. And then he fucks right off. Which is upsetting, because, this could have been ended so much sooner. But yeah, so I'm going to speed this part up here in a minute once things kind of get into place, because it's essentially like me just waiting and waiting and waiting. And god damn it, well, you'll see. You will see. So, yeah. I'm trying to think of what else to say really about this, other than the fact that I keep getting fucked. That's the sloppy play. This is like not any kind of like nice strategy or anything. Like, this is just like some cheesy shit. Like, you just let one unit die, one unit kills them, the other revives it, and it's just this cycle of like nothing happening. It's very sloppy. And I mean, this is way off topic. There's a difficulty mod for this game called 1.3. But well, I don't know, it changes a bunch of shit, and I just feel like this tactic here where, like, everybody just keeps reviving everybody with, like, 1 point of health and stuff, and they just fucking around doing shit, and you can never, like, clean anybody up. Like, that's what that game felt like to me, that mod. Like, I got to, I got all the way to chapter 3 or 4. I finally lost interest after this one battle. What is the name of it? It's the one with all the chocobos. What is the name of that level? Man, I'm trying to blank on it. It's got a name that sounds like something else. Like, it's a funny fantasy name, but like when you say it, it sounds like 2 words or a word or something. I forget. Man, yeah, I don't know. I got around there, and then I just said fuck it, because like it was ridiculous. But yeah, that is completely tangential. I'm still just trying to kill this fucking asshole. And I'm still just sitting here crippling the boss's stats just so she's not an issue and she stops killing peen balls. And, yeah, just raising brave while I can, just kind of killing time. Planning for the future. It's kind of like what I like to do for this game. Kind of build up things early and then coast with, like, some variety later. So I can't reach that fucking crystal in 1 turn, so that's a whole nother turn I gotta waste getting over there, which gives this dude more time to run away, which means it takes even more time to get Clyde over there. You move less in water, so it's just a slog, you know, like, ugh. So I think about right here I speed this up, but I got Gil taking and Defend, which I talked about Defend earlier. Gil taking just steals Gil. And so I did this. I just kept doing this shit, like kept raising Brave, just fucking around, breaking her stats, waiting around, walking over there, inching painfully. I have no ranged options. I have to stab this guy in the face. Inching over, little by little. You know, I walk over. I can't kill him in 1 hit because I fucking miss. So now I hit him again, kill him. Now I gotta wait for him to crystallize. And, You know, I thought this would be worth it. I thought I'd get some sweet fucking skills from this guy. I was really excited to get a steel something or other, you know, steal weapons, steal whatever. But no, I get an item. So I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe it'll be good. But,
Fuck!
yeah, it's not very good. That's a piece of shit. That's the second hat you can buy. Besides the default one. It's sort of like the longsword thing all over again. So fuck my ass. Merry Christmas, everybody. And to all a good night.